Hello everyone, this is Michael Meeks with Digital Increment, and what we're going to do right now is go over how to create a pivoted query in SQL Server. That is, how to create a pivoted query in SQL Server. So, my past lives, I never really had to deal with creating pivoted queries because I usually did that on the front end. But where I'm at now, we're doing a lot of BI querying, and a lot of the users are requesting pivoted data. So what we're going to do is we're going to pivot some things in AdventureWorks. Or AdventureWorks 2014. So without further ado, away we go. So let's take a look at some of these tables. And what we're going to do is I'd like to get a set of sales data. And what we'll do is go through this sales data and see how much each person sold over a given territory. All right, so here we go. Let's say select everything from sales order header. All right, and boom, oop, let's go on ahead and connect. And let's use AdventureWorks. All right. So boom, there we have it. And so let's take a look at this data, and what we'll see here, the sales order header. You can see the data there. We've got a salesperson ID. That's going to be a foreign key, so probably the person that sold. There's going to be a subtotal, and probably, let's see, I believe there's a grand total in there, if I'm not mistaken, also. Total due. So that'll be total due. And there is also territory ID. So let's go ahead and get those items from the sales order table, just to keep things fairly simple. So let's see, territory ID. All right, sales order header. So let's go on ahead and give it an alias, sales order header dot territory ID. So we've got the territory ID. We're going to come up with we are going to need the total due. And we want the person that made the sale also. So that's going to be that salesperson ID. Alright, so we've got those items. Beautiful. So one of the things that we're going to want, we said we wanted to get the territory ID. So let's enter join the that sales territory. I think it's sales territory. St dot. Let's see. It should be territory ID equals dot territory ID. So now we can get the names of the territory. So let's. We no longer need the ID. What would be better is if we had the name of the sales territory. So, oops. Boom. There we go. So now we've got the actual name of the territory. So we've got the territory, the total due. So now let's add the person. So salesperson sp on sp dot. All right, business entity. So business entity ID is going to be the foreign key, or it's going to be the primary key for a salesperson. It's going to be how you identify the person. So, but in the sales order header table, they don't have something called business entity ID. What it's called in that header, what the foreign key is called in that table, is the salesperson ID. So we join them as such, and now we no longer need the salesperson ID. We can just say sp dot. Oh wait, right. we can still go with the business entity ID, which is the same ID, but the problem is what we want to do is we want to get that person's first name and last name. So we need to join with person dot person. Okay. On. All right. Business entity ID. SP dot business entity ID, and now we can get the person's name. So we can say P dot first name, P dot last name. All right, and this is going to give us the first and last name of the person. So now, with the person, the amount, and their territory. And so now that we've got this information, let's say we want to give how much they sold in a given territory. And so what we want to do is pivot on territory, or the territory name, which is this column. So what we're going to do to start this off, we're going to make it a derived query. And when we make it a derived query, we'll be able to do the pivoting on that derived query. So let's see here, select everything from, all right, and now we've got the derived construct. And so one of the things that we're going to do to create the pivot, what we're going to do in order to do that, there's a series of commands. So the command is going to be, after we do that, we're going to say the keyword is going to be pivot. We're going to pivot using an aggregate for a given set of data. So what we do is pivot, and what we're going to do is we're going to do sum of d dot total do for, this is going to be for d dot name in. And so what we're going to do here is get the name of each column that we're going to be pivoting from. So let's see here, if we just do like this, right, we can say distinct. All right, and we will get all of the names let's see here, all right, of our territories. So this is all of our territories that we have data in. All right, so let's get it all good and formatted. And so now, originally, let's look and see here. Boom. So originally we had this Saeed Abbas with all of the different probably orders in the different in that territory. But now we're going to get the summary of all this guy's orders. So once we execute it, we'll see all of the different territories out here, and we'll see the sum of what he did in that particular territory. Now for multiple people, they're going to have data across multiple territories, and we'll all see that there. So this is kind of a basic query showing how SQL Server pivots the data, very similar to Excel. So it's just one of the things that I'm doing now in the BI world. So hopefully it helped, and if it did, go on ahead and click the like. And I'm going to be coming out with additional videos on how to do certain things. So, you know, if you want to check those out in the future, go on ahead and click subscribe. All right? All right. Happy coding, guys.